What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm currently really far into my project of making the Lightbar, which that video came out a couple weeks ago. But right now I kind of want to just do a quick review video on the different lights that I actually have that are going to be going on my Lightbar. So I mentioned briefly in my other video that I had some free lights sent to me because a company watched one of my videos, saw that I was mentioning that I wanted to make a new Lightbar, offered to send me some new lights. So they sent me like headlights and a couple of their smaller spotlights, as well as their 7-inch spotlights as well. So like mini light bars. Now I'm not going to fluff it up. If they suck, they suck. But this is what we're going to see. Kind of like what you get for the different prices out there, because they are significantly cheaper than the other ones that I got. So hopefully they're worth it. But if not, you guys will definitely figure that out by watching this video. So let's tear right into the packages. We'll see initially what we get in the packages and kind of see like what the differences are right off the bat of like quality and what's actually included. So we'll start off with the Stage Series Diode Dynamics light bar that I bought. So I bought this a while ago. It was on sale July 4th. And I think it was like 20 or 30% off. And I believe it was $120 originally, and I got it for $80. So it was a pretty good deal. And this is the combo that I bought. So we got 2 spotlights and 1 flood. Right off the bat, the packaging was really nice. I did, like I said, took a lot of it apart. One thing you'll notice, they have a really nice plug and connector that they include. So it's like a nice waterproof quick connect. That way you can pull it off for your light bar. And they give you the pigtail for the other side, as well as mounting hardware. So they give you a few options and all of the stuff that you actually need to mount it, which is super convenient that it at least comes with all of this. Some will come with like a relay kit. I don't think Diode Dynamics do, so I'm curious to see if these do. Haven't really looked in them. I just opened the boxes and like cracked them to see like what they are. So this is what they sent me. They sent me these things, which are LED light bulbs. These are just H4 replacement bulbs, which when you throw in LED lights in like a halogen housing, because it's not like a projector housing, it'll tend to like throw light everywhere. So it can kind of be super annoying, especially blinding to other drivers. So it's not almost really a recommended thing for a daily driver. And opening this up to see what we got. So we got some hardware in here, a mounting bracket of sorts. This is maybe like 18, maybe 16 gauge. And this is like almost 1/4 inch, maybe like 12 mil or something like that. So this is a pretty thick, heavy mounting bracket, and then this is pretty flimsy, so that's just a little quality stuff right off the bat. So it's not terrible looking, as you can see. It at least has like a projector, so compared to my other Amazon light that I used to run on the car, which is supposed to be like spot/flood, they don't have any projector, so you can definitely tell that these have like a little bit of a projector housing. One thing that I did see on their reviews for these things is that they seem to get moisture in here and they'll get like condensation and fog up. But a simple fix could just be removing these 3 or 6 Allen heads and then just caulking a little bit around the edges. And that should seal them up pretty well, and you won't run into any issues with that. So it looks like that's all we've got in this box. So no pigtail, no connectors or anything like that. So you're stuck with whatever connector you buy. So you're gonna have to buy one if you get one of these. They might be included in the 7-inch, so we'll open those up. These are supposed to be spots as well, but as you can tell, possibly, those projector housings are nowhere near like the projector housings on those 3-inch bulbs. So I'm kind of curious to see how these are, because these look more like a normal LED light bar, where they call this spotlight, but it's more like just a flood and it just throws light everywhere. So maybe these will be spot, but probably not looking at the housing. We'll see though. Looks like they just included a box with same kind of stuff. A little bit thicker of a bracket. Looks like, yeah, the way that this mounts is just one nut that slides in here, and then you just run a bolt through it to probably mount it to it. Well, I'm going to skip all of the construction, wiring, all that kind of good stuff, and that's going to be in the other video, so go check it out after this if you're curious how I did that and how all that wiring went with relays and stuff like that. Go check that out. Make sure you like it, comment, like this video too, and subscribe too if you feel like these videos come out pretty regularly. Usually not like this, where it's a review, but mostly like doing work on the car. I'm gonna get right back to work though, finish up this light bar, and we're gonna get right back into this video with the comparison. So we're back with the comparison. It's been roughly a month, maybe longer, 6 weeks probably, since I filmed that last section that you just saw. So we're gonna talk briefly about what I've seen with these lights so far. Mostly the Auxbeam, the Diode Dynamics has been amazing. No issues with that at all. But we did go through quite a bit of rough patches during SDPR. So we had quite a few little offs. Nothing too major with like huge front end collisions or anything like that, so no issues there. And then we also went through quite a few wet areas where we got a lot of water probably splashing up on them, and it rained most of the rally as well. So you can definitely say that they've been put through a decent amount of stresses to actually test their durability. So now we're going to check them out and see if there are any damages or anything like that. So I haven't really even looked at these things that much since the rally happened. The only thing that I did do was I power washed the entire car to get a lot of the mud off. So as you can see, even though we went through all that abuse, there's no condensation or anything weird on the inside. They are still a little bit muddy. It's not really an issue though. Yeah, I'm not seeing any sort of issues with these things. No cracks in the glass, no condensation in that one. And none in that one. So they all look pretty good. They still have their same color. Obviously they haven't been out in the sun to get faded or anything like that. But they did see a decent amount of abuse from the rally. They look identical to the Diode Dynamics light, which is held up superbly as well. And all the mounts are still super strong, and they didn't come loose at all, pointing in any weird direction. And I didn't modify the bracketry at all on any of these, using the stuff that came with it for all 4 lights and the Diode Dynamics light as well. Even though that was only one rally, they did see quite a bit of abuse during it. So I think it was a pretty good test. So obviously it's really good to see that they at least held up really well. Now we need to get into the important part of having auxiliary lighting, and that's to see the actual comparison of how well these things do at their job of lighting things up. So we'll start off first with the headlights, and we'll show the stock headlights with the brights, and then show the Auxbeam LED lights with high beams and low beam. Now, stock lights before really were bad on this car. They were super dim, and I really couldn't see anything. So they're definitely an improvement over that. Now, without the projector housing, they kind of splash light everywhere, but up close, it does a decent job. And I think that it's not too blinding when I've gone and I've looked at it from a few hundred feet away. It doesn't seem like it's too bad, and it would blind oncoming drivers. I also never got flash with brights or anything like that, but it's not a daily driver. I only drove it a few times at night on the road, so I'm not sure if that would be an issue. I would definitely look at getting a projector housing for your LED headlights if that's what you decide to do, because it will definitely get better distribution of the light and it won't just spill everywhere. So now we'll start actually diving into the LED light bars. So I wired just all 4 of the Auxbeam lights on their own circuit, and then the Diode Dynamics on its own as well, so we'll be able to see the difference between the two. So we'll start off first with all 4 of the Auxbeam lights. As you can see, they definitely throw a lot more light pretty far down there. They still get a decent amount of like spillover from the sides because they're not as focused of a spot beam, but they do a pretty good job. Now the temperature of the light is a little bit more of like a blue color, so you do get that versus the Diode Dynamics, which is more of a white. And now we'll check out the Diode Dynamics by itself. As you can see, that one kind of appears to be a lot more focused and shines the light out a lot farther. And the temperature of the Diode Dynamics is a lot more of an actual white versus more of the blue tint that you got with the Auxbeam lights. Now, comparatively, you do see a lot farther with the Diode Dynamics light, that's for sure. But if you think about it, all 4 of those lights added together, I think if you buy them yourself, it's like $68-$70 or something with prime shipping. Pretty cheap. And that one light bar is $180, I believe. I double checked. I know I said it was cheaper in the beginning, but I think I got it for like $120 because it was on sale. So pretty sneaking expensive. But you can see that the difference in light is definitely significant. But for the value of what you're getting with these, they do an amazing job, and they would more than suffice even if you just added like 2 more of those 3-inch spot beams to try to see a little bit more out to the sides, and then possibly 2 more of those 7-inch ones as well. I think that would be more than enough, and you would be able to see plenty far enough, at least for what your budget allows. Because probably if you're looking for something in this range, you're probably not the fastest guy out on the rally stage, or you're into off-roading or something like that. and you're not looking to drop a whole bunch of money to be able to see as best as you possibly can. So now that those are out of the way, we're going to compare both of those to this old LED light bar that I used to have on the front of the car. Super ugly. As you can see, this thing's massive. It's like 52 inches or something like that. It's made for like going on top of like an FJ Cruiser or an old Jeep or something. But this thing just throws light everywhere. And when this thing would turn on, you could totally tell because the alternator starts whining like crazy. You can definitely tell that there's a lot more of a current draw on the electrical system of the car, which is the nice thing about these because they're really not putting that much of a draw on the electrical system. So that's nice. I don't get feedback coming into the intercom system. Even with a big filter that I do have to try to get all that alternator whine out, I would still get quite a bit with that old light bar. So as you can see before, this thing threw light everywhere, but it really didn't throw very far. So there's really like no comparison between that old LED light bar and then the new one, because going back and forth between the two, you can definitely see so much further. So what's my verdict on these? I definitely think that they are worth the money and you should definitely get them if this is what you're looking for. All in all, with the LED headlights, the 7-inch lights, and then the 3-inch spot beams, I believe it came out to under $90, maybe $95 total, which is super cheap. That's still half the price of that Diode Dynamics light, which by all means, if you can afford the Diode Dynamics, you should get that too, because that light is amazing. And I probably will go to those in the future, but I really don't have money for that at this time. But these Auxbeam lights are more than worth their money, and they're definitely better than the average LED light bar that you find on Amazon, definitely by far. So if you are interested in checking out any of these products, the links to them are in the description below, so go ahead and check them out. They have a pretty large variety, both Diode Dynamics and Auxbeam, so check them out. If you want some like on-highway use type stuff that's actually like legal to use, that you're not just throwing off-road lights on to drive at night, because I definitely wouldn't recommend doing that if you're just driving on the street. But it is good if you do any off-roading, so maybe that's why you want to use it. But if you want like headlights and stuff like that, they both have a decent selection available on their websites. And while you're at it, you should click a like on the video and subscribe if you're not already, because I'm pretty regular about posting videos on the rally car as well as the Datsun, which I haven't posted any on that yet. But that will be coming out shortly. So I'll stop rambling, end this video off, try to keep it short and condensed just on the review. But I definitely appreciate Auxbeam sending those lights out and Diode Dynamics for just making a great light. And I was able to buy it on sale, so that was awesome too. So I'll end the video out, guys. You have a good one, and I'll see you with whatever I get coming out next.